Welcome to this week's Quick Charge. At a crucial time and place, the Bible says that God sent David some much needed help. Each day, men came to David to help him, and they came until there was a great army like the army of God. God became his help. David called it a very present help, or a helper who can always be found. The need for help is a foundational part of life. Help is an essential ingredient in our walk with Jesus. It's a necessity. It's a must. And there are various kinds of help that we can expect on our life's journey. And ironically, the first one is there is help that is no help. Some things look like they're a help, and they seem like, and they present themselves as a help, and they pretend and promise to help, but they are in fact just the opposite. Often what seems to be a help to us is in fact not a help, but a hindrance. There is much more in life that promises help than is help. It's possible to attach to something, to some sort of thinking that it's helping when it's not. Most likely, it's hurting. And this, of course, this is nothing new. King Ahaz said, since these gods helped the kings of Aram, they will help me too, if I sacrifice to them. But instead, they led to his ruin. We can think a relationship or an attachment or some sort of an opinion or belief or dependency or even a codependency, maybe even a stimulant, is a help. But it's instead bringing ruin, keeping us from the only true help. We're surrounded by so many things that promise help, but to no avail. And we can't access real help until we admit that what we call help is not helping at all. Then, of course, there's the help that's real help. David said, my help comes from the Lord. Why? Because God is the helper. It's his nature. It's his disposition. It's his inclination, his motivation to help. In Eden, Adam needed help, and God gave him help. It's his heart to help. King Asa said, O Lord, no one but you can help the powerless against the mighty. Help us, O Lord our God, for we trust in you alone. And that's exactly what God did. When we call to him, he answers our cry for help. And then there is the help that doesn't look like help. This is the greatest kind of help that you'll ever find in God. God helps me even though I've never asked for help. This is unsolicited help. This is the kind of help that helps me change. We all need motivation to change. We tend not to until we have to, until we're so inconvenienced or uncomfortable or shaken that we readily embrace God's change. In Acts chapter 8, the Bible says a great wave of persecution began that day, sweeping over the church in Jerusalem. And all the believers, except the apostles, were scattered through the regions of Judea and Samaria. They had gotten stuck in Jerusalem. They were supposed to go to Judea and Samaria and the uttermost parts of the earth. But they needed help to get unstuck. So God said, let me help you with that. And he arranged a great wave, a swell that turned into a scattering. In Egypt, the Bible says the people of Israel were so many that they filled the land. You know, they had really come into their own in Egypt. They were settled and comfortable, and they could have stayed. In fact, they may have thought we could make this work long term. But they needed to come out to get into their destiny. So God simply said, let me help you with that. And he raised up a new king, and things became unpleasant and uncomfortable. Why? Because it was time for a change. Are you in need of genuine help in your life, to change or to rebuild, you will find real help in God. Join me next week for more of There's Help for That. God bless.